When people talk about time management, they often present a single solution. Go to bed early, wake up early, study in the morning, follow a strict schedule. But what about people who work night shifts? What about those who work a 9 to 5 job? What about individuals working multiple jobs, caring for family members, or managing household responsibilities? Can they still find time to study? The answer is yes. The reality is that there is no single perfect schedule that works for everyone. Each person has different responsibilities, different goals, and different challenges. This video focuses on realistic scenarios and practical strategies that can help you make the most of the time you have. You will see 3 possible schedules that many people never consider. The goal is not to copy these schedules exactly. The goal is to help you discover a system that works for your life, your responsibilities, and your goals. Before we begin, it is important to remember that these are only examples. Not everyone has the same responsibilities, schedule, or daily routine. Some people have children, some care for pets, some work full-time or multiple jobs. Others may currently be unemployed, retired, attending school full-time, or have different commitments. If any of the activities shown in these examples do not apply to you, simply replace them with activities that are part of your daily life. The purpose of these schedules is not to tell you exactly how to spend your day. The purpose is to demonstrate that study time can often be found in places we do not expect. Time management is not about finding the perfect schedule. It is about finding a schedule that works within the reality of your life. With that in mind, let's look at our first scenario, the working parent. Our first scenario represents an individual with a full-time job and family responsibilities. This example assumes a person living in an area where the day follows a traditional daytime schedule, with work occurring during normal business hours. Let's imagine this person's day. At 6 a.m., they wake up and begin preparing for the day. They prepare breakfast, organize lunches, and help their children get ready for school or kindergarten. After dropping off the children, they prepare for work. Their workday runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Once work is finished, they pick up their children and begin the commute home. Depending on traffic and distance, the commute may take approximately 1 hour. By the time they arrive home, they still have several responsibilities ahead of them. They prepare dinner for the family. They spend time with their children. They help with evening routines and prepare everyone for the next day. From approximately 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., they focus on bedtime routines and helping the children settle down for the night. Afterward, there is still cleaning, organizing, and preparing the home for the following day. By 10 p.m., many people would understandably feel exhausted. This is often the moment when people say, "I don't have time to study." However, notice that there may still be a small opportunity available. From 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., this individual dedicates 1 focused hour to studying. 1 hour may not seem like much, but if that hour is used consistently, 5 days per week, it becomes 5 hours each week. Over the course of a month, that becomes approximately 20 hours of study. Over a year, those hours can accumulate into meaningful progress toward a certification, a degree, a new language, a healthcare career, or a citizenship goal. At 11 p.m., the day comes to an end, and the cycle begins again tomorrow. The lesson is not that everyone should study at 10 p.m. The lesson is that progress is often built through small, consistent efforts made within the reality of our daily lives. Another important way to look at this schedule is from the working caregiver, an individual balancing work, family responsibilities, and caregiving duties. At 6 a.m., they wake up and begin preparing for the day. They prepare breakfast and help a family member with morning needs. This may involve preparing medications, assisting with appointments, or simply making sure their loved one is comfortable before leaving for work. After completing these responsibilities, they prepare for their own workday. Their work schedule runs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At the end of the workday, they begin the commute home. After arriving home, their responsibilities continue. They prepare dinner. They spend time caring for their family member. They help with household tasks and ensure everything is ready for the next day. By 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., many people would understandably feel mentally and physically exhausted. This is often the moment when people say, "I don't have time to study." However, this individual chooses to dedicate 1 focused hour to learning. From 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., they review notes, read course material, practice English, prepare for a certification exam, or work toward another personal goal. 1 hour may not seem significant, but 1 hour per day becomes 7 hours per week. Over the course of a month, those hours accumulate into meaningful progress. The lesson is not that everyone should study at night. The lesson is that even during demanding seasons of life, small and consistent efforts can help us move closer to our goals. Our second scenario focuses on individuals whose schedules do not follow the traditional daytime routine. Many time management strategies assume that everyone works during the day and sleeps at night. However, millions of people work overnight shifts. Healthcare workers, emergency responders, security personnel, transportation workers, manufacturing employees, and many others often work while the rest of the world is asleep. Let's consider an example. Imagine a healthcare professional working from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. After completing the shift, they commute home, eat breakfast, and prepare for sleep. By approximately 8 a.m., they go to bed. Ideally, they would sleep uninterrupted. However, many responsibilities in daily life still operate during traditional business hours. Medical appointments, banking services, government offices, maintenance visits, school meetings, and other obligations may require attention during the day. As a result, their sleep schedule may occasionally be interrupted. Around 3 p.m., they wake up and begin preparing for the remainder of the day. They eat a meal and review their schedule. From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., they attend an accredited educational lecture to maintain professional knowledge and earn required contact hours. From 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., they complete a workshop to obtain continuing medical education, CME, credits, or continuing education, CE, credits needed for professional development, certification, or license renewal. Many people would consider this a productive day already. Yet there is still an opportunity for personal growth. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., this individual dedicates time to personal study. This may involve learning a new language, preparing for an advanced certification, pursuing a degree, studying for a licensing examination, or working toward another educational goal. After studying, they eat another meal, prepare for work, and begin the cycle again. The lesson is not that everyone should follow this exact schedule. The lesson is that learning can still occur even when life operates outside traditional hours. Now let's consider another example. Some individuals live in areas where daylight patterns differ significantly throughout the year. In Utqiagvik, Alaska, the sun can remain above the horizon continuously during part of the summer and remain below the horizon for extended periods during the winter. In these regions, the position of the sun may not provide reliable cues for when to wake up, work, study, or sleep. As a result, time management often depends more heavily on routine than on daylight. Time management is not about following someone else's clock. It is about creating a routine that allows you to make steady progress toward your goals, regardless of where you live or when you work. A brief note for individuals working overnight schedules or living in regions with unusual daylight patterns. Sleep is an important part of effective time management. Many night shift workers and individuals living in areas with extended daylight periods use practical strategies such as blackout curtains, sleep masks, and consistent sleep schedules to support healthy sleep habits. Some individuals may also discuss topics such as vitamin D, light exposure, and sleep health with their healthcare providers. Because every person's situation is different, it is important to consult a qualified healthcare professional for guidance regarding sleep, nutrition, and overall health. For the purposes of this video, the key takeaway is simple. Protecting your sleep can help protect your ability to learn, focus, and manage your time effectively. Now let's move to our third and final scenario. A brief note before we continue. This example includes an individual caring for a pet because many people dedicate time each day to meeting the needs of their animals. Let's imagine an individual working 2 part-time jobs. Their day begins at 7 a.m. After waking up, they take their dog for a walk, prepare breakfast, and get ready for work. Their first job runs from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. After finishing work, they take time to eat lunch and commute to their second job. Their second shift runs from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. After work, they return home, walk their dog again, prepare dinner, and complete household responsibilities such as laundry, cleaning, paying bills, and organizing for the next day. By this point, many people would feel that there is no time left. However, let's take a closer look. Between 9:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m., this individual dedicates one focused hour to studying. This study time may be used to learn English, prepare for a certification examination, complete coursework, study for citizenship, or work toward a future healthcare career. 1 hour may not seem significant, but 1 hour per day becomes 7 hours per week. Over the course of a month, those hours accumulate into meaningful progress. Notice that this individual did not need a perfect schedule. They did not need an entire afternoon free. They simply identified a realistic block of time and used it consistently. The lesson from this scenario is that time management is not about finding extra hours. It is about recognizing opportunities that already exist within your daily routine. No matter where you begin, progress is possible when we work together and continue moving forward. Your effort matters. You can do it. Thank you for watching, and we wish you success on your educational journey.